Pardon me, thou bleeding piece of earth, that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruins of the noblest man that ever lived in the tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy, which like dumb mouths do ope their ruby lips to beg the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war, or pity choked with custom of fell deeds. And Caesar's spirit, ranging for revenge, with Arte by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry, Havoc! And let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth, with carrion men groaning for burial.
Our final vlog guests on this first Brentwood Theatre vlog are from Brentwood Shakespeare Company. Brentwood Shakespeare Company was formed in 1994 with the aim of bringing Shakespeare's plays to life in the wonderful acting space of Brentwood Theatre. This year their chosen play is Julius Caesar, which tells the story of the conspiracy against Caesar, his assassination and the defeat of his conspirators. I realise I've now ruined the end of the play for anybody else to see before. We welcome today Alan Ablewhite, Lionel Bishop, Matt Jones and Sydney Hills. Thank you very much for coming in this afternoon.
Pleasure.
Alan, let's start off with a bit of background.
Right.
Where do the Brentwood Shakespeare Company actors come from? Are they from Brentwood or all over the place?
They actually come from Brentwood and Havering in the main. We have had people from Southend and from Chelmsford and inner London. Matt comes from Ilford. So this area, southwest Essex really, I don't think they've come from further afield than that.
And it's been going since 1994. You've been pretty much a founder member, haven't you?
I've been in every one of our productions except the two that I directed.
Marvellous. And is there still a hunger for Shakespeare in Brentwood and Essex?
Oh, we hope so.
And in terms of getting actors, is it easy to find people who can cope with Shakespeare? Because it's not easy to get your tongue around some of the words sometimes.
That is true. You need a little bit of experience, and a good director does a bit of teaching in between while you're doing. But no, it's not as simple as drawing on comedy, say. No, the trick, of course, is to get it to sound understandable while at the same time still being verse. And if you're any good, you can do it, and if not, it sounds terrible. But we try.
Sydney, you are Julius Caesar, so you're the main character. Is this a play that's being done with spears, or have you set it in more modern times?
I think we're setting it in more modern times. Please don't ask me to identify the modernity. It is a little bit beyond me. Unfortunately, I'm not a director, but it is modern. So one has to allow for some of the modern affairs coming into it. There will be certain changes of relationship between the characters and the way that, shall we say, things occur during the play, which would not necessarily have happened in Caesar's time, being modern. So the dress will obviously be very, very different.
Because there are parallels that can be drawn between the story of Julius Caesar and, I suppose, modern
Well, the
history.
wonderful thing about Shakespeare is that he's virtually timeless. You can put Shakespeare into almost any age, and he is relevant to what is happening in political and social terms, in comedic terms even as well. I mean, he is jolly funny. Perhaps not as way out as some of the comedy that one gets today.
There aren't many laughs in this play, though.
But not many.
Few and far between.
I think there could be some if we aren't very careful.
Yeah, true.
Especially when one dies.
Trying to think there's a bit of stabbing goes on.
Yes,
Really, isn't there? Yes.
although it's modern and
These,
in the war scenes towards the end, people are carrying sub-automatic machine guns and stuff. He still gets stabbed with knives.
Excellent. And the person who stabs, again, to destroy the story for anyone who's never seen the play, is you, Matt.
Yes,
You are
well,
the killer.
Well, we all.
It's not the only one. It's not the only
It's
one.
like Murder on the Orient Express. We all done it.
Okay, well, I'm going to point my mic at you.
that's fine. No, that's fine. The thing with Brutus, I think he's the only one in it that really has a clear moral objective in this. A lot of the other conspirators, they have their own means and their own jealousies to contend with, and that's why they often. But Brutus is quite a noble man, and he wants what's best for Rome as a whole. He's not a selfish man. He's not thinking about himself. He's thinking about everyone in Rome, and that's why he decides that actually, yes, he will join the conspirators who have already been plotting.
Mm-hmm.
And once he decides to go ahead, they think, right, they've got strong enough backing. Let's go for it. And
Is this something you discuss before you start rehearsing the play, so you all understand where your characters are coming from?
not always. Obviously, everyone has their own different way of looking at the different parts that they're going to. Obviously, reading the script first, and actually tell you everything you need to know, more mainly. But then, obviously, whatever you don't understand, fellow actors, and especially your director, is the person you go to at that point.
I think we talk amongst ourselves, don't we?
Yeah, I think everyone's
Outside
done a
of
bit of
rehearsal.
Oh,
We
yes,
say
yes,
we
yes.
ought to, maybe in the scene, if I did so and so, that would then make some more sense relative to what you're doing, which we haven't yet brought out in the dialogue that we're using. And as Alan says, it's making the Shakespeare sound sensible and real, and very often it's the interpretation of the words you're using which then creates the relationship between the two, and you then build on that as you rehearse.
Yes.
So the rehearsal time is so terribly important for building those relationships, which then translate, hopefully, to the audience.
Yeah. Now, Lionel, you're playing Mark Antony.
Yes.
We know that you survive because you go on to another play.
I do, yes.
It is very much a boys' play, this one, isn't it? I mean, you've got guns, you've got knives, you've got all kinds of bits of kit that you can kill each other with. And as far as I can recall, there aren't many men dressing up as women.
No, and I'm glad about that.
Yeah.
But we do have some of the conspirators are women. Though.
Oh, good.
Actually, well, there's one is. Yeah.
Excellent. But it is.
Well, the soothsayer in this is played by a female,
Yeah.
who is normally been played by a man traditionally, but now it's been played by a woman who's a kind of witchy kind of person.
Yeah. Is it nice to have quite a kind of a boys' play though?
It is, yes. I think it's good fun, isn't it? And I think it's good fun. I mean, obviously, I can't speak about these two because these are my enemies.
Oh, I hate
Yeah.
him.
But it's good fun. It's got great storyline. There's a bit of politics in there. There's a bit of friction between the two different sort of factions in Rome, and there's like the power in there, and that's really good story.
Sometimes you're not sure who your friends are.
No.
Yeah.
Like my friend Brutus. Yeah. He's supposed to be my very good friend. He's the Caesar's angel, and yet
He's just
turned.
right,
It's very political. But I think it's very relevant to modern times with the way things happen in government, etc., and that, and with certain leaders being overthrown. I won't quote anyone in recent history, but yeah, it's definitely got echoes of what's going on at the moment in the world.
Well, it certainly plays out that way because one of the basic flaw with the plot is that they don't really plan what's going to happen afterwards. And so they kill the dictator and take over, and it all falls apart and ends up in a nasty civil war.
Which has a tremendous parallel today.
Well,
if you look back,
name your
East
country,
without
basically.
anything in particular.
Yeah.
Now I know that we've pulled you away from your get-in at the moment, which is why you're so beautifully dressed.
Oh yes, apologies.
Covered in paint. But you're on at Brentwood Theatre. Julius Caesar on at the Brentwood Theatre this week from Thursday.
Wednesday,
yes.
Okay, tickets I'm assuming are still available.
Yes.
And do come along and potentially an award-winning show for Brentwood Theatre and Brentwood Shakespeare Company.
Indeed. Thank you.
Lovely, thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. That's our 4 Shakespearean actors.